Feeling overwhelmed in your career path? Get unstuck. Part 3, is win-win solution a fantasy?
This episode is forcibly squeezily sponsored by
Hello, welcome to the last episode of the Unstuck series. Again, before we start, can you recall what we have learnt in the previous episodes?
Sure. In the first episode, the concept of problem-solving and decision-making skills with a holistic perspective was introduced. To solve life problems, just like how doctors manage a disease, the initial step should be meticulous and holistic information gathering.
Yeah, you're right. How about the second episode?
We have learned about the harsh reality in solving the problem, namely lack of resources, and the fact that there are many things that we can't simply change. For this, the solutions will be focusing on the things that you can do and setting priority according to one's values and available resources.
Bravo! At the same time, we did mention the issue of dilemma, about which I have promised to discuss in this episode.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
How do you define a dilemma?
A dilemma is a difficult situation in which a choice has to be made between two or more alternatives, especially ones that are equally desirable or undesirable.
That means I have a dilemma now.
What is that?
I would like to promote this YouTube channel to share whatever we have discussed so far. However, at the same time, I don't really feel good about it because it seems like we are self-boasting and doing hard sell to others. I don't know what to do about it.
It's okay, those who are watching this video should have seen something on the screen already. Dear friends, kindly watch the first 2 episodes, like if you like it and subscribe if you find values in it. Okay, let us go back to the topic. If we apply what we have learnt in the second episode, it is actually obvious that the main reason behind the dilemma is the conflict of human desires and the lack of resources, which makes us find it hard to decide whether to choose or reject both options which seem to be equally good or bad.
How do people approach dilemmas?
Give me a second. What is this?
Obviously, water. Why?
Can you elaborate your answer a little bit more, my dear?
Okay, it is a compound substance called dihydrogen oxide in its liquid state, stored in a container made of silica, up to the midpoint of its capacity.
You are technically right, but can you please use the layman term?
Oh, half a glass of water.
Yes, how might people view this glass of water?
Sorry, as an AI voice, I don't really know.
The answer is pessimism and optimism.
What do these terms mean?
People with pessimistic views tend to see the worst aspect of things or believe that the worst will happen, thus being desperate and hopeless about the future. So for this glass of water, what they will be thinking is that, oh no, I only have half a glass of water left. On the contrary, people with optimistic views tend to see the best aspects of things or believe that the good will happen, thus being hopeful and confident about the future. Using the same example, they will be thinking, oh yes, I still have half a glass of water.
Let me think about it. At the first glance, it seems like optimism is a good way to go. But, if we are honest and realistic in regard to these views, isn't it still half a glass of water? Nothing seems to have changed at all.
You are right. Both pessimism and optimism are kind of right in their own ways, with optimism being more favorable to many. However, one important thing to note is that people who hold any of these views are just bearing with the problem but not looking for an active solution. This will lead to a perpetuating state of dissatisfaction and inner conflict, be it obvious or subtle. One might get paralyzed in despair due to pessimism, or become an escapist with irrational moves due to unrealistic optimism.
What can we do then?
Don't worry, take a step back. By looking at this situation as a whole, do you realize that this is just another problem of getting stuck? You can start from the baby step again.
Okay, can you show me how to do it in this case?
Sure. When we evaluate both views objectively, here are a few things that we may find. Pessimists are not wrong in being realistic of imperfections in many things we face, the lack of resources, and possible tough challenges ahead. At the same time, it is not wrong for the optimists to be idealistic in knowing the right vision, and having a positive hope that the future will get better. The issue is, the pessimists are too focused on the present that they lose their vision in life, while the optimists are too focused on the future that they want, therefore becoming blind to the present situation. And, we are stuck in the mindset that the present situation and the desired future are contradicting each other, and therefore believe that nothing much can be done. In order to get a win-win solution, the question is not really about which side you should adopt, but how you can integrate the good and eliminate shortfalls from both sides. This is the right question that we can get an answer out of, which is realistic optimism.
What is realistic optimism?
For me, it is a holistic approach in problem solving and decision making, with a mutual balance of realism and creativity. For those who hold this view, they are realistic to the present situation and willing to examine thoroughly to identify the problem. Yet at the same time, they are utilizing their creative mind to think about areas that many never considered before, and get the answer there. In terms of decision-making, those people are also realistic about the limitations that are present. Yet at the same time, they are using their creativity to think about the solutions that fully utilize the available resources to achieve the desired outcome.
This reminds me of the popular saying that when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, but hey, there are many more options regarding what you can do about the lemon. Lemon tart, lemon pudding, lemon bar, lemon parfait, lemon lush, lemon cake and many more.
You are making me hungry, dude. But how do I get all the ingredients for these?
That is easy, my dear. While focusing on the lemon, don't forget that there are many other precious resources that life has given you. Of course, this includes all the material resources, but do not forget about human resources. Even if you still don't have the necessary ingredients, isn't it possible to work with others in order to get these?
Oh, I see. Let me process it. So, think from the big picture to look for all the necessary details to understand the dilemma. Think outside the box, especially outside of ourself, to make win-win solutions happen through joint effort. Wow, 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 so win-win is not a fantasy, but easy peasy lemon squeezy plus yummy yummy.
Yeah, so here is the bring home message. When you face a dilemma, remember that this is just a newly discovered problem that you can still apply the baby step. In order to achieve a win-win solution, a holistic approach that incorporates both realism and creativity is needed.
And for the action plan, the keyword for today is try. Try to explore different solutions based on your true values and real-time resources creatively. Learn from both your success and failure. Learn from both yourself and others. Try things out alone and together.
I agree with that. So far, we have been talking about the concepts with some simple examples. But, how is this translated into reality and applied in various life situations? And, if it works, why does it work?
Not our job anymore, ha ha ha. Brian, who wrote the script for us, should be held responsible for what he forces us to share. He should be the laboratory mouse to test these concepts out as well, because he was born in the year of the mouse.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. Okay, that means, time to go. Thank you so much for following us through this series. May the solutions to life problems be with you, now and forevermore.
Amen, amen.